I spent my 20s recklessly, but your 30s should be when you make a big financial push. Retirement planning is not something to put off. Understanding boring things like insurance for 101 kiloseconds and mortgages is important since it's all on your shoulders now. Educate yourself. Your mind's acceptance of age is 10 to 15 years behind your body's aging. Your health will go faster than you think, but it will be very hard to notice, not the least because you don't want it to happen. Learn how to say no to people, activities, and obligations that don't bring value to your life. Setting healthy boundaries is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself or another person. Don't tolerate people who don't treat you well, period. Don't tolerate them for financial reasons. Don't tolerate them for emotional reasons. Don't tolerate them for the children's sake or for convenience sake. Don't settle for mediocre friends, jobs, love, relationships, and life. Stay away from miserable people. They will consume you, drain you. Surround yourself and only date people that make you a better version of yourself, that bring out your best parts, love and accept you. Show up with a hand for your friends. You matter, and your presence matters. I think sometimes I may have taken some relationships for granted, and when that person is gone, they're gone. Unfortunately, the older you get, well, things start to happen, and it will affect those closest to you. Appreciate those close to you. You can get money back and jobs back, but you can never get time back. Tragedy happens in everyone's life. Everyone's circle of family and friends. Be the person that others can count on when it does. I think that between 30 and 40 is the decade when a lot of shit finally starts to happen that you might have thought never would happen to you or those you love. Parents die, spouses die, babies are stillborn, friends get divorced, spouses cheat, the list goes on and on. Helping someone through these times by simply being there, listening and not judging is an honor and will deepen your relationships in ways you probably can't yet imagine. You can't have it all. Concentrate on doing a select few things extremely well. Everything in life is a trade-off. You give up one thing to get another, and you can't have it all. Accept that. In a word, focus. You can simply get more done in life if you focus on one thing and do it really well. Focus more. I'd tell my 30-year-old self to set aside what other people think and identify my natural strengths and what I'm passionate about, and then build a life around those. While by age 30 most feel they should have their career dialed in, it is never too late to reset. The individuals that I have seen with the biggest regrets during this decade are those that stay in something that they know is not right. It is such an easy decade to have the days turn to weeks to years, only to wake up at 40 with a midlife crisis for not taking action on a problem they were aware of 10 years prior but failed to act. Biggest regrets I have are almost exclusively things I did asterisk, not asterisk, do. I am about to turn 41 and would tell my 30-year-old self that you do not have to conform your life to an ideal that you do not believe in. Live your life. Don't let it live you. Don't be afraid of tearing it all down if you have to. You have the power to build it all back up again. Less fear, less fear, less fear. I am about to turn 50 next year, and I am just getting that lesson. Fear was such a detrimental driving force in my life at 30. It impacted my marriage, my career, my self-image in a fiercely negative manner. I was guilty of assuming conversations that others might be having about me, thinking that I might fail, wondering what the outcome might be. If I could do it again, I would have risked more. You have to assets that you can never get back. Once you've lost them, your body and your mind. Most people stop growing and working on themselves in their 20s. Most people in their 30s are too busy to worry about self-improvement. But if you're one of the few who continues to educate themselves, evolve their thinking, and take care of their mental and physical health, you will be light years ahead of the pack by 40. The number one goal should be to try to become a better person, partner, parent, friend, colleague, etc. In other words, to grow as an individual. Unless you are already dead, mentally, emotionally, and socially, you cannot anticipate your life 5 years into the future. It will not develop as you expect, so just stop it. Stop assuming you can plan far ahead. Stop obsessing about what is happening right now because it will change anyway. And get over the control issue about your life's direction. Fortunately, because this is true, you can take even more chances and not lose anything. You cannot lose what you never had besides. Most feelings of loss are in your mind anyway. Few matter in the long term. Most of what you think is important now will seem unimportant in 10 or 20 years, and that's okay. That's called growth. Just try to remember and not to take yourself so seriously all the time and be open to it. Despite feeling somewhat invincible for the last decade, you really don't know what's going to happen, and neither does anyone else, no matter how confidently they talk. While this is disturbing to those who cling to permanence or security, it's truly liberating once you grasp the truth that things are always changing. To finish, there might be times that are really sad. Don't dull the pain or avoid it. Sorrow is part of everyone's lifetime and the consequence of an open and passionate heart. Honor that. Above all, be kind to yourself and others. It's such a brilliant and beautiful ride and keeps on getting better. I'm 44. I would remind my 30-year-old self that at 40, My 30s would be equally filled with dumb stuff, different stuff, but still dumb stuff. So, 30-year-old self, don't go getting on your high horse. You still don't know it all, and that's a good thing. Spend more time with your folks. It's a different relationship when you're an adult, and it's up to you how you redefine your interactions. They are always going to see you as their kid until the moment you can make them see you as your own man. Everyone gets old, everyone dies. Take advantage of the time you have left to set things right and enjoy your family. It's never the right time for children because you have no idea what you're getting into until you have one. If you have a good marriage and environment to raise them, err on having them earlier rather than later, you'll get to enjoy more of them.